Greetings, sky explorers. Welcome to another celestial adventure with Exploring the Universe. Today, we're embarking on a stellar journey to discover two of the most famous and useful constellations in our night sky, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, also known as the Great Bear and the Little Bear. These celestial bears are not just beautiful to observe, they've been crucial for navigators and astronomers throughout history. But why? That's exactly what we're going to uncover in this cosmic expedition. Imagine standing on the deck of a ship in the middle of a vast ocean, hundreds of years ago. No GPS, no modern technology. How would you find your way? Or picture yourself as an ancient astronomer, trying to understand the rhythms of the universe. What would you use as your celestial signposts? The answer lies in these two constellations. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor have been humanity's guiding lights for millennia, helping us navigate not just the seas, but also our understanding of the cosmos itself. These constellations are more than just groups of stars. They're celestial time capsules, holding within them stories of ancient myths, the secrets of navigation, and clues to the very movement of our planet through space. But what makes these bears so special? How can a group of stars that look vaguely like a big spoon help us find our way? And why has a single star in Ursa Minor become one of the most important reference points in the entire night sky? Today, we're going to unravel these mysteries. We'll learn how to spot these constellations in the night sky, discover the tricks that sailors and explorers have used for centuries to navigate by them, and understand why astronomers still find them invaluable today. So, whether you're a seasoned stargazer or a complete novice to the world of astronomy, get ready to see the night sky in a whole new light. These celestial bears are about to show us why they've captured the imagination of humans for thousands of years, and how they continue to guide us in our exploration of the universe. Did you know that a simple trick using these constellations could have saved the Titanic from its tragic fate? Stay tuned to find out how these celestial bears could have changed history. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of the night sky and join us on more cosmic adventures, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Exploring the Universe. Turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly journeys through the cosmos. The universe is vast, and we're just getting started. Now that we've set the stage, let's get acquainted with our celestial stars of the show, Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. These cosmic bears have been captivating stargazers for millennia, so let's dive into what makes them so special. Ursa Major, Latin for Greater Bear, is one of the most recognizable constellations in the Northern Hemisphere's night sky, but you might know it by some of its more colloquial names. In North America, it's often called the Big Dipper due to its shape resembling a large ladle or dipper. In the UK and Ireland, it's known as the Plough, as it looks like an old-fashioned farm plough. In some European countries, it's referred to as the Great Wagon or Charles's Wain. What makes Ursa Major so easy to spot? It's all about those 7 bright stars. These stars form the asterism, a prominent pattern of stars, that gives the constellation its popular names. The asterism looks like a big spoon or a wagon, with a bowl or wagon body, and a handle or wagon tongue. The stars are so bright that they're visible even in areas with moderate light pollution. The 7 main stars of the Big Dipper are Dubhe and Merak, forming the front edge of the bowl, Phecda and Megrez, forming the back of the bowl, Alioth, Mizar, and Alkaid, forming the handle. If you look closely at Mizar, you might be able to spot a fainter star right next to it. This is Alcor, and together they're known as the Horse and Rider. Now, let's meet Ursa Major's smaller sibling, Ursa Minor, or the Lesser Bear. Ursa Minor is indeed smaller and less bright than Ursa Major, making it a bit more challenging to spot for the novice stargazer. Like its bigger counterpart, Ursa Minor also forms a dipper shape, which is why it's often called the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper appears to be pouring into the Big Dipper, as its handle points in the opposite direction. Ursa Minor is composed of 7 main stars, mirroring the structure of Ursa Major, but they're generally fainter. The key feature of Ursa Minor is its brightest star. Polaris, the North Star, sits at the very tip of the Little Dipper's handle. This star is not the brightest in the sky, contrary to popular belief, but it's the most important for navigation. Polaris remains almost stationary in the night sky, as it's located almost directly above the Earth's northern axis. While both constellations form dippers, think of Ursa Major as a large soup ladle you'd use to serve a crowd, and Ursa Minor as a smaller sauce dipper you might use for individual servings. This size difference makes Ursa Major generally easier to locate first. Remember, these constellations are more than just pretty patterns in the sky. They're celestial landmarks that have guided humanity for thousands of years. In our next segment, we'll explore how these cosmic bears, particularly the Little Dipper's Polaris, have been crucial for navigation throughout history. Now that we've met our celestial bears, let's zoom in on the most crucial star in our story. Polaris, also known as the North Star or Pole Star. This stellar beacon has been guiding travelers and captivating astronomers for centuries. Let's unpack why it's so special. Location and characteristics of Polaris. Polaris is located at the very tip of the handle of Ursa Minor, the Little Dipper. It's the last star in the Little Dipper's handle, making it relatively easy to locate once you've found the constellation. Polaris is actually a multiple star system, with the main star being a yellow-white supergiant about 430 light-years away from Earth. What makes Polaris truly unique is its position in relation to Earth. It sits almost directly above the Earth's northern rotational axis, just 0.7 degrees off from the exact celestial North Pole. This means Polaris is always visible from the northern hemisphere, provided you have a clear view of the northern sky. One of the most fascinating aspects of Polaris is its apparent lack of movement in the night sky. While other stars appear to rotate around the night sky due to Earth's rotation, Polaris remains almost stationary. If you were to take a long exposure photograph of the night sky, you'd see all stars forming circular trails, with Polaris at the center. The reason for this phenomenon: Earth rotates on its axis, which is tilted at about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the Sun. The Earth's axis points almost directly at Polaris, making it appear fixed in the sky. Other stars seem to circle around Polaris as Earth rotates. The unique position of Polaris makes it invaluable for navigation. By locating Polaris, you can always determine which direction is north. The star's elevation above the horizon also roughly corresponds to the observer's latitude. For centuries, sailors have used Polaris to navigate the seas. Using instruments like the sextant, navigators could determine their latitude by measuring the angle between Polaris and the horizon. On land, travelers and explorers have long used Polaris to maintain their bearings, especially in featureless terrains like deserts or prairies. Even in the age of GPS, Polaris remains a reliable backup for navigation. It's still used in celestial navigation training for sailors and pilots. Polaris has played a significant role in various cultures. The ancient Phoenicians called it the Phoenician star and used it for navigation as early as 1100 BCE. In Hindu astronomy, it's known as Dhruva Tara, meaning fixed star. During the 19th century, escaped slaves in the United States used Polaris to guide them northward to freedom. Polaris has been featured in countless poems, songs, and works of literature as a symbol of constancy and guidance. Interestingly, Polaris won't always be our North Star. Due to the wobble in Earth's rotational axis, different stars take the position of the North Star over a cycle of about 26,000 years. Around 3000 BCE, Thuban in the constellation Draco was the North Star. In about 12,000 years, Vega will take over as the North Star. Now that we understand the importance of Polaris, let's learn the age-old trick that navigators and astronomers have been using for centuries to locate this crucial celestial beacon. This method is so reliable and easy that even novice stargazers can master it quickly. The Big Dipper method. Start by finding the Big Dipper in the night sky. This is usually the easiest part because Ursa Major is one of the most recognizable constellations. The Big Dipper looks like a large ladle or saucepan with a long handle. It's visible year-round in the northern hemisphere, though its orientation changes as it rotates around Polaris. In spring and summer, it's high in the sky. In autumn and winter, it's closer to the horizon. Once you've found the Big Dipper, focus on the front edge of its bowl. The two stars forming this edge are called Dubhe and Merak. These are known as the pointer stars because they point the way to Polaris. Dubhe is the star at the top of the bowl's edge, while Merak is at the bottom. Imagine a line connecting Merak to Dubhe. Now, extend this line outward from the bowl of the Big Dipper. The distance you need to extend is about 5 times the distance between Merak and Dubhe. At the end of this imaginary line, you'll find a moderately bright star. That's Polaris. It's not the brightest star in the sky, contrary to popular belief, but it's the brightest star in that particular area. Polaris is also the last star in the handle of the Little Dipper, Ursa Minor. This method might take a little practice, but once you've done it a few times, it becomes second nature. Try it on different nights and in different seasons to become more comfortable with the changing orientation of the Big Dipper. The distance between your pointer finger and pinky finger, when held at arm's length, is roughly 15 degrees in the sky. The distance from the pointer stars to Polaris is about 30 degrees, or 2 handspans. If you're just starting out, you can use a stargazing app on your smartphone to confirm you've correctly identified Polaris. However, try not to rely on this too much. Part of the fun is learning to navigate the night sky on your own. Once you've found Polaris, try to identify the rest of Ursa Minor. It's fainter than the Big Dipper but follows a similar shape, with Polaris at the end of its handle. In the northern hemisphere, the Big Dipper never sets below the horizon for most observers. This means you can use this method any time of night, all year round. Think of the Big Dipper as a giant celestial arrow, always faithfully pointing towards Polaris. It's nature's own navigation system, one that has guided sailors, explorers, and wanderers for thousands of years. This simple yet effective method demonstrates the practical value of understanding constellations. It transforms the night sky from a beautiful but mysterious canopy into a useful tool for orientation and navigation. The importance of Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and particularly the North Star Polaris, throughout human history is truly fascinating. These celestial bodies have played crucial roles in navigation, timekeeping, cultural practices, and even in shaping human events. Let's delve into some of the most significant historical aspects of these stellar guides. For thousands of years, sailors have relied on Polaris and the constellations to navigate the vast oceans. Ancient Phoenicians, as early as 1100 BCE, these master seafarers used Polaris to guide their trade ships across the Mediterranean. During the 15th to 17th centuries, European explorers like Columbus and Magellan used celestial navigation, including Polaris, to traverse unknown waters and map the globe. While they didn't use Polaris, as it's not visible in the southern hemisphere, Polynesian navigators used other stars in similar ways to cross vast stretches of the Pacific Ocean. Instruments like the astrolabe, quadrant, and sextant were developed to measure the height of Polaris above the horizon, allowing sailors to determine their latitude. The Big Dipper, known as the drinking gourd in African American folklore, played a crucial role in the escape of enslaved people. The song Follow the Drinking Gourd contained coded instructions for escaping slaves, using the Big Dipper to guide them northward to freedom. Escapees would use the Big Dipper to locate Polaris, ensuring they were always traveling north towards free states in Canada. The constancy of the North Star became a powerful symbol of freedom and hope for those seeking to escape bondage. Many ancient civilizations used the movement of Ursa Major and other constellations to mark the passage of time. They used the movement of Ursa Major to determine the start of their new year, which coincided with the annual flooding of the Nile. Many used the position of the Big Dipper to track seasons. For example, the Micmac people saw the rotation of the Big Dipper as a celestial clock marking the hours of the night. They used the positions of constellations to determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops. These constellations feature prominently in the myths and legends of various cultures around the world. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor were said to be the nymph Callisto and her son Arcus, transformed into bears by Zeus and placed in the sky by Artemis. Many tribes saw the Big Dipper as a great bear being hunted. The Iroquois saw the 4 stars of the bowl as the bear, and the 3 stars of the handle as hunters chasing it. In ancient China, the Big Dipper was known as the Northern Dipper, and was associated with the Taoist god of longevity. The Inuit saw Ursa Major as a great sky bear, Nanerjuk, which was hunted each autumn, explaining why the constellation appears to dip towards the horizon. These constellations have also played a role in advancing our scientific understanding. The ancient Greek astronomer Hipparchus discovered the precession of the equinoxes by noting that Polaris had not always been the North Star. Studies of the stars in Ursa Major, particularly the Big Dipper, have contributed to our understanding of stellar evolution and galactic structure. In 1718, Edmund Halley discovered stellar proper motion by noting that stars in Ursa Major had changed position since ancient times. Even in the modern era, these constellations continue to hold significance. The Big Dipper appears on the state flag of Alaska and in the coat of arms of Greenland. References to the North Star and the Big Dipper appear frequently in literature, music, and film, often symbolizing guidance, constancy, or finding one's way. The historical significance of Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and Polaris demonstrates how celestial observations have been interwoven with human culture, science, and survival throughout the ages. From guiding escaped slaves to freedom, to helping ancient farmers know when to plant their crops, these cosmic landmarks have played an outsized role in shaping human history and culture. The historical significance of Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and Polaris demonstrates how celestial observations have been interwoven with human culture, science, and survival throughout the ages. From guiding escaped slaves to freedom, to helping ancient farmers know when to plant their crops, these cosmic landmarks have played an outsized role in shaping human history and culture. Ursa Major contains one of the best examples of proper stellar motion visible to the naked eye. This phenomenon is particularly noticeable in the stars of the Big Dipper. The stars Dubhe and Alkaid are moving in the opposite direction from the other 5 stars in the Big Dipper. This means that over time, the shape of the Big Dipper will change. In about 50,000 years, the Big Dipper will look more like a big snake due to this stellar motion. This movement was first noticed by Edmund Halley in 1718, leading to the discovery of stellar proper motion. The stars of the Big Dipper, except for Dubhe and Alkaid, are actually part of a stellar association called the Ursa Major Moving Group. These stars were born from the same giant molecular cloud about 300 million years ago and still move together through space. Polaris hasn't always been, and won't always be, the North Star. This is due to a phenomenon called the precession of Earth's rotational axis. Earth's axis completes a circular wobble every 25,772 years, similar to a spinning top. This changes which star appears to be at the celestial North Pole. Around 3000 BCE, the star Thuban in the constellation Draco was the North Star. In about 12,000 years, the bright star Vega will take over as the North Star. Polaris will again be the North Star in about 27,000 years. Interestingly, Polaris is actually getting closer to the true celestial North Pole. It will make its closest approach around the year 2100. While we commonly refer to these constellations as bears, different cultures around the world have seen very different patterns in these stars. In ancient Arabic astronomy, the stars of the Big Dipper were seen as a funeral procession. The bowl of the Dipper was seen as a coffin, and the handle stars represented mourners following the coffin. Many Native American tribes saw the bowl of the Big Dipper as a bear, and the handle stars as hunters chasing the bear. In China, the Big Dipper was known as the Northern Dipper, and was associated with the Taoist god of longevity. The Little Dipper was seen as a smaller version of the same pattern. In Hindu tradition, the 7 stars of the Big Dipper represent the 7 sages, Saptarishi, who are considered the patriarchs of Vedic religion. The stars of the Big Dipper, despite appearing similar to the naked eye, are actually quite diverse. Dubhe, the brightest star, is an orange giant about 25 times larger than our sun Migres. The faintest of the 7 is actually the hottest, with a surface temperature of about 17,000 degrees Fahrenheit. In Ursa Major, the second star from the end of the Big Dipper's handle is actually a double star system visible to the naked eye. The brighter star is Mizar, and its fainter companion is Alcor. Ancient Arabs used the ability to distinguish these 2 stars as a test of good eyesight. Mizar itself is a quadruple star system, while Alcor is a binary system, meaning this double star is actually a sextuple system. The region of sky around Ursa Major is rich in galaxies visible through telescopes. The most famous is probably M101, the Pinwheel Galaxy, a beautiful face-on spiral galaxy. Another notable galaxy is M82, the Cigar Galaxy, which is undergoing intense star formation. While the Big Dipper is easy to spot, the Little Dipper, Ursa Minor, is much fainter. Only Polaris and 2 other stars in Ursa Minor, Kochab and Furcad, are moderately bright. The other 4 main stars are quite dim. This is why many people have trouble finding the Little Dipper, even though they know where to look. As we conclude our cosmic journey through the realm of Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and Polaris, we find ourselves not at an end, but at a beginning. These celestial formations are far more than mere points of light scattered across the night sky. They are, in essence, the guardians of knowledge, the guides for travelers, and the gateways to our understanding of the vast universe that surrounds us. The Great Bear and the Little Bear, along with their faithful companion, the North Star, have been silent witnesses to the unfolding story of human civilization. They have seen empires rise and fall, watched as we took our first tentative steps into seafaring and exploration, and observed our relentless quest to understand our place in the cosmos. As we gaze up at these stars today, we're not just seeing points of light. We're looking at the same celestial beacons that guided Viking longships across treacherous seas, inspired Native American legends, helped escaped slaves find their way to freedom, and continue to spark wonder in the hearts of children and adults alike. In our modern world of GPS and satellite navigation, it might be easy to dismiss these constellations as relics of a bygone era, but their importance transcends mere navigation. They remind us of our place in the grand cosmic dance, of the ingenuity of our ancestors, and of the enduring human spirit of exploration and discovery. The next time you find yourself under a clear night sky, take a moment to locate these cosmic bears and their guiding star. As you do, remember that you're participating in a tradition that spans millennia. You're connecting with explorers, poets, scientists, and dreamers across time who have all looked up at these same stars and felt a sense of wonder. In the grand tapestry of the night sky, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and Polaris shine as reminders of our past, guides for our present, and beacons for our future. They stand as eternal symbols of our endless quest for knowledge and our enduring desire to understand our place in the universe. And now, dear stargazers and cosmic explorers, as our journey through the realm of the celestial bears comes to a close, we invite you to continue this adventure with us. Have you managed to spot these constellations in the night sky? We'd love to hear about your experiences observing Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and Polaris. Did you use the techniques we discussed? Were you surprised by how easy or challenging it was to find them? Share your stories in the comments below. Reading about constellations is one thing, but discussing them with fellow astronomy enthusiasts takes the experience to a whole new level. Respond to other commenters, ask questions, and share your own insights. Let's create a vibrant community of stargazers. Why not try your hand at astrophotography? Even a simple smartphone photo of the night sky can be a great start. If you found this journey through the northern sky fascinating, chances are your friends and family will too. Share this video on your social media platforms and help others discover the wonders above us. Hit that subscribe button to join our community of cosmic explorers. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to ensure you never miss our weekly astronomical adventures. Like this video if you enjoyed our celestial bear hunt. It helps us reach more stargazers like you. What cosmic wonders would you like us to explore next? A deep dive into distant galaxies? An exploration of mysterious black holes? Or perhaps a guide to starting your own backyard astronomy? Let us know in the comments. Remember, the universe is vast and full of wonders, and we're just getting started. Whether you're a seasoned astronomer or taking your first steps into stargazing, there's always something new to discover in the night sky. So, keep looking up, keep wondering, and keep exploring. The universe is out there, waiting for you to uncover its secrets. Until our next cosmic rendezvous, clear skies and bright stars to you all.